Hello. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another CreamCatCorner stream. We're back this time. Hopefully, we are gonna finish two. Hopefully, because we did get all of the colors necessary in the color wheel. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hello, Vigor. Hello. How are you? How's your weekend so far? Oh God. Okay. So here's the plan. Since this game is, I'm not sure how long I still have in this game. If the game finish early, then I am gonna change into some other game. I did see from the Steam page that they are doing some demos, and I did download Kingdom 80s demo. So if I've managed to finish game puzzle this game puzzle early, then I might switch into that game. Hello, Tommy Bird 2002. Hello. Oh my God, did the notification on Discord work? How are you, by the way, Tommy? Oh my God, it did work. Oh my God, you guys don't know how how much I struggle to get it work. It's such a simple thing, but I don't know. I don't know why I was struggling so much. Bigger, you are sweating like a duck inside the sea. Oh no. Oh no, the temperature is that high, huh? By the way, Tommy, how are you, by the way? You're good? Okay. What is the temperature over there? Your place? Because right now the temperature that currently I am in is at um 30 30 31 31 to 29 25 degrees Celsius. Oh shoot, that really high. That's the temperature that I encountered like what, 4 days ago. Oh no. Everyone, okay, since it is really hot, I hope everyone is staying hydrated. Heat stroke is not a joke. Cover your head and drink lots of fluids. Okay, now let's get into the game. And hopefully I can move on to the next puzzle quickly without getting stuck. Okay, so what's the plan here? Uh, Guessing like this. God, okay. Okay, let's see. So I need to change the laser to become something that is the same color. Ooh, that's gonna be hard, huh? Let's change the box into orange. Wait, what? How does that work? Ah, okay, so pink, red, orange. Let's have it change to orange, huh? Which means gonna jump into it twice. One, two. Oh shoot! Oof! I shouldn't have jumped. You found a game idea that you guys can do? Oh, okay. Do let me know. Okay, first change to green, change to blue. One. Oh sh! I forgot. I forgot. Okay, it's okay. This is a warm-up session. Okay, let's do this then. So you will think of a Hollow Knight character. You will say three things about that character, and you have to guess who you were thinking of. Huh? Okay. I'll try. One, two, three, four. Okay, good. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, okay, I see. Do I see? Oh, okay. I think I know how to do it. Let's do this first. Uh, I slipped. My fingies. My fingies slip. Okay, this is a good chance for me to rectify my mistake. Let's start off with this guy. So the blue one. So the plan is to the green laser there, right? I need to open up this door that is on the right here. So meaning that I need to change into one, two, three, four, five. One, two, four, five. And do that. Nice. Okay, how to do this? Do this. God, okay. Purple? Oh man, oh man, oh man. I made a mistake. Do this. Wait, do this. Oops. Oh, oh, I get it. I get it. So I need to push this block till the end. Okay, nice. Oh, ooh. That not the color. Whoa, okay. Light blue. Wait, light blue. Interesting. And then I need to green. So we have purple and blue here. So Okay, the purple one I need to do one, two, three, four, five, and then six. Okay, here goes nothing. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, good. One, two, three, four, five. Oh wait, I should change into lighter blue. Oops. Okay, okay. Let's do this then. Okay, good. One, two. Oof. Okay. Not even sure what's the strategy here. I'm quite afraid. I don't want to repeat all of that all over again. Let me just take the long way around. Okay, good. Ooh, nice. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. Ooh, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, now I need to change to green. Push this. Jump. Nice. Okay. Phew. Okay, let's take a break. I'm using all of my brain cell. Okay, figure, Wilson Neil, he has a shop, he's a master. Are you talking about Sly, figure? Because that sure sounds like Sly. Yeah, at least I remember his name. Ooh, a peacock, chameleon, flamingo, and it repeats. Where's the mantis shrimp? Ooh, the journey guy. Okay, I know I'm supposed to go there, but I always want to explore first. Oh, thank goodness, too. We got one of those flask looking thing. Ooh, what is this? Can I sit here? Nope. Oh, okay. Hello? Oh, hey, you. You're not supposed to be here. The university is closed. The pipes have burst. There's slime everywhere. Best be on your way. I won't say it again. The university is closed. Away with you. Well, that. Aren't you a bit young to be at university anyway? I must be getting old. Now get out of here before I lose my patience. Come on, kid. I'm trying to mop up here. Don't cause a scene. I'm just doing my job. Now scram! Okay, if you're going to hassle me, how about a joke? Ooh, What did the janitor say when he jumped out the closet? Ooh, I don't know. What? Supplies! I get it. I get it. Supplies. No, Scoot. Oh, hey, you. Okay. uh, you hate those fun? I love it. I love it. Um, it's a female. She has the name of a bug. She wields a weapon, so it's Hornet, right? It's definitely Hornet. Okay, let's go. Ooh, a new mechanic. Ooh, it's like a paint. What happens if I... Oh, nothing. Nothing changed. Then I should do this. Hey, interesting. We are being introduced a new mechanic.
Being back at the university has surfaced many memories, Hugh. I remember taking you to lectures. You would crawl to the front of the hall when I wasn't paying attention. Dr.
That's
Gray
a
would look
bad
down from his
mother.
lectern, and all his seriousness and authority would wash away. He would pick you up, walk over, and return you to my arms with a smile. Love cannot be measured, Hugh. Like colour, it exists inside of us. I buried it. I buried the love that I had for my own ends. I hope after all this, you will see my mistakes for what they are. Yours lovingly, Mum.
Okay, here's the thing. If you bring your child to a lecture and the baby is able to crawl their way into the lectern, what kind of mother does that? Did she never pay attention to the baby? That's a bad mother there. I mean, first of all, she's lucky that the one that are giving the lecture, is it the professor? Whatever. The professor is really kind enough to bring back the baby to her. But imagine if the baby somehow got into trouble and hurt himself. Anyway, enough with my my dumb commentary. Ooh, can I spin? It's a mill, it's a vessel, it wears a cloak. Are you talking about the Hollow Knight? Oh, false, sorry, not false champion. Uh, oh god, what's the name? Kin? Lost Kin? Is it Lost Kin? I'm confused between the dream version and the real version. Ooh, the music is nice though. Is this our mom? Newton? Broken vessel. Oh god. The real one, and no, you didn't that not that either. Oh. It's a vessel, it wears a cloak. Who else is a vessel and wears a cloak? The Pale King? The Pale King can't be the vessel, right? But I'm not even sure. The Pale King is a worm. Yeah, but He did wear a cloak, but he's not a vessel. He's a worm. Broken vessel and hollow nut, but never said the knight or pure vessel. Wait. Okay. The broken vessel, right? Sorry, not. Uh, the knight. I want to say, yeah, the knight. The little knight. I thought they were genderless, meaning that they don't have a specific gender. Or am I misremembering the thing that the White Queen said, the genderless one? My God, all the one that I said are genderless. Oh my God, there is only a single vessel that has a gender. Wait, wait. But I'm not even sure, Vigor. I give up. Group Master Grim. How is he a oh, I get it. I get it. I want to ask how is he a vessel, but then I remembered that the beating heart does require a vessel. Now I remember. Okay, I'm definitely missing something here. Cream is a vessel cause nightmare heart. Yes, I remember now. Ooh. Okay. Let's get red, green, red. But how? No, no. Oops. Okay, do not make that mistake. Oh. Okay, okay, wait. Oh, I get it. Am I supposed to do it like this? Then red. But how am I supposed to? Oh God. Okay. Ooh. The ones that have a very limited luck is a little bit more challenging. You know what? Yeah, let's do this then. Oops. Hey. Problem solved. Actual problem solved. What's not nice right now is this. Ow. Oh, dang. The white lady. It's a female, it's alone, and she's a tree. She's the white lady. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, let's turn it red. And let's do this again then. Okay, the problem is... Oh, I get it now. I get it. I'm such a dum-dum. I can already solve it, but I had to make the same mistake. Then that, yes. Hey, it's an idiot. It's a bastard, and we all hate him. Are you talking about Markov? I don't know. Your your description clearly reflects your frustration with Markov. It is? Okay. So what to do here? Push it to the pink one first. Oh, oh, I know how to solve this. Then change into pink one. Then it open. Get the key. Wait here. Change to blue. Oh. Do this. Nice. Okay. Chevrolet. How many how many color is there in this ring? There's several of them. Get it? Get it? To be exact, there's 8 colors. I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But several is acceptable. Isn't that right, Professor Chevrolet? Okay, we have a new mechanic here. It's random, it's random, it's random. Uh, I'm not sure, Vigor. That's too vague. Oh, Grey Princess Load is random. Oops. So let's think about this carefully then. So, okay, let me... No, I can't even test it. Wait, I can. Okay. So what to do here? It's a little bit disorienting. There's a lot of colors. So let me get this straight. Oh dang, everyone has their own colors, huh? Except for purple. Okay, so I need to push it to this, to yellow, then push down the conveyor belt. Okay. That's orange. Oh, 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 no. What color do I want it to be? Anything except red, right? Or am I in the wrong here? Come on, let's go with... Ooh, wait. Except red, blue, and yellow. You know what? I am gonna try. Let's avoid red first. And turn it orange. Okay, good, good. So okay. Okay, this is gonna be a leap of faith. Oh, kidding me. Okay. Okay, interesting. I'm guessing I need it to yellow. Let's try push it until it is yellow. Oops. Oof. Okay, oh. Oh god, okay, hmm. Seems easy. Oh, okay, wait. Interesting. I'm quite stuck here. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Okay, it's a little bit too soon. Oh, okay, let's try with red again. come on, man. Okay. Let's take it from the top. Are you? Come on, man. Okay, let's have it red. Blue. Okay, good. Okay, now we'll turn it red. Oh, okay, I get it. Turn it blue. Turn it red. Turn it yellow. Turn it red. Turn it blue. Turn it red. Oh, okay. Now for me to get up there, I guess. Well enough. Purple. Nice. Okay. Interesting. Let's go with purple. So that opens that. And what about orange? Oops. Okay, I'm a little bit confused, but let's see. Purple? Oof, okay, my wrong color. So let me get this straight. If I turn it blue, okay, so the red laser will open the exit, whereas the blue laser will open the key. Path to the key. Okay, so decisions. So I shouldn't mess with the blue laser. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit confused. I am supposed to go through purple. So that's another dilemma. Okay, let's... No, that doesn't solve anything. Okay, let's have it down here. Just curious, I'm just curious. sure if I'm doing things the right way or not here. Then we have that. Ooh. Oh man, okay, oh, so close. Okay, apparently that's a good strategy. Okay, let's bring down one of the boxes first. Do I need to change both of them at the same time? Whoops. And then bring down the purple. Blue. Oof, okay, oh, oops. Okay, this is a little bit confusing to say the least. Huh, I'm... Oof, okay, let's do that. Orange. Bring it to this center. Then bring that up. Purple. Then go up. Okay, this is color confusing, so blue. Okay, wait. You need to be slightly closer there. Nice, okay. But how? Are you kidding me? Okay. Okay, maybe I shouldn't change the green box into some red color, but instead I need to just change the blue box into purple. Hopefully that's the right solution. But that doesn't help us here. I can't do anything yet. Come on, man. Okay, this is confusing the hell out of me. So can't jump. Oh, you gotta go. Okay, no problem. Thank you for coming. Okay, Vigor. Really do appreciate it. So I can't swap the box's position. But okay. Nice. Stupid. Ah, okay. Let's see. Oof. Okay. Let's think about this carefully. I gonna die if I raise the balloons. Oops. There's no way I can make that jump, right? Ooh, the head was decapitated. Okay, okay, let's think about this carefully. I can't push the block. I can only push it to go here and go here. Same goes to the other boxes. This box. So I can change it in red. Oh, I get it. I get it. Let's do this then. Oops. we turn red. Okay, good. Okay, good. So far, good. Then, oh god. Okay, let's bring this down. Bring it up. Oh my god, yes. Whew. My brain is huge. So huge. Oh god. What's going on with you, Hugh? Get out. None of y'all deserve a trophy. Okay. Ooh. Are we in a university or an art gallery? Interesting. Okay, so we have to... Okay. Can we... Oh. I do want something here, but I'm not sure how. Oof, not like that. But how? How am I supposed to get both laser? Oh, I'm such an idiot. I can do this. Then back here, change color, turn back. Oh, snap. Okay. Is that the right way to do? Or do I need to? Purple. I think I need to be purple. Curiosity. So let's have it like this. Let's do this again. Line. This. Oh, I get it. Need to make full use of all the colors that we are given. Then push it down. Then change back into, oops. The block back into purple. Whoops. Not like that. stuck here? Oh no, I did. Why? Oof. Okay. I got too impatient there, but okay, it's okay. We can do this quickly. No, I need to. Hey, apparently that's the right way to do it. A lot of a roundabout way to solve this puzzle. I'm sure someone had done this puzzle in record time, but I am not one of them. No? Oh god. This color a block blue. This push the blue block. Okay, let's think about this carefully. If I turn this block here into purple and then push it here, that doesn't make sense. We need both block to block the laser on the right there. And we need it to be a different color that is not blue. So it needs to be purple. But in order to bring that blue block there, but I'm just curious. Am I screwed? The question is, how can I get there, get to safety? Oh my god, this is confusing. Okay, relax, relax, we can do this. Use that green juice of yours. What if I change it to orange? Can't reach stairs. Can't go down. I can't go through this. Can go up. That doesn't help. So let's do this. No. Yellow. Orange. Purple. got this. Got this. What about purple? No. Orange? That doesn't help. Okay. Oh, okay, I get it now. Problem solved. Bring this here. Push this here. Push this here. Then we simply push. Oh my god, yes. Problem solved. Then we push it here. Nice. Okay, good. So far, so good. Okay, nice. Oh, shoot. I thought it was the paint. It's laser. Okay. Very confusing. Okay, let's... No. Green. Green. Blue. Purple. Orange. Ooh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Oh, come on. Oh, I get it. Okay, okay. Here's the plan. Red. Okay, that's really unfair. Doesn't trigger until I am fully up there. Interesting. Hey, go what? Goatee? Goatee. Oh god. Nice goatee you have there. Oh god. Okay, what kind of shenanigans do we have here? Hello, hello Nero. Hello, how are you? New game? Yeah, I've been playing this for this is the third session. We are in the home stretch. It's a puzzle game, so I have to use up all of my brain cell, all two of them, solve it. Taking me quite a little bit of time, but slowly but surely. Now, so we have the red. So we need something else that is red. Oh, okay. Okay, what about upstairs? What's the whole point of having... By the way, how are you, Nero? How's your weekend so far? Been a while since I heard from you. Oh god, okay. So we have red. What color should I strive to be? Oh, I see. At the top there, there's a blue block that I should take. So the one that is not used is green. So let's take green. An example. Okay, let's try it then. You are alive. Last week was a bit busy. How have I been? Same. I've been busy actually. So many things happening. But yeah, busy is good. Better than doing nothing. But there's definitely a balance to it. I definitely did not nail it down the balance of it yet. But hopefully the coming this year, I hope I need to balance that work-life balance, you know. Hopefully by the end of the year I can figure that out, can start it out. So basically right now until the end of the year I am quite busy. Okay, so I need to change to green. So 1, 2, 3. So the red one I need to jump on it 3 times. The yellow one once, and the orange one twice. So 3, 1, 2. So let's do it. 3, 1. No! Okay, that's really unfortunate. Two. Wait, what color am I? Oh, dang it. Okay, blue is fine, I guess. Blue is fine. Dang, okay, what? Oh man. Dang. How solve this? I need to go up the stairs, but can't do that. Wait. Wait. Interesting. So this blue thingy change color. Dang. It was supposed to be yellow, right? I'm so confused. Okay, and then change blue. Change into oh god, what's this? Then again. Okay, and then do this there. Oh my god. Okay, so it starts with yellow. Interesting mechanic there. If I change the top color, the bouncing pad on top of the spray paint outlet, so the paint color will also change. Oh man. Okay. I should have been more careful. But that's okay. 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 How to do this? Okay, let's craft for this teal color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay, green. Sorry, yellow. 1, 2, 6, 2, and then 3. 6, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof. I misjudge. Okay, let's do this then. I make a mistake. Shouldn't be red. Shouldn't be red. It's supposed to be any other color besides red. Oh man, it's a whole another cycle. Okay, wait. I got scared. Okay, wait. Okay. Wait. Oh, I'm a dum-dum. Okay. Oh, okay, I want teal. One more time. Okay, and then immediately change after this. And then, hey, good. Okay, good. So far, so good. Then do this. Change this. Okay, now we need to be careful and not make any uncalculated move. Oof, okay. Let's do that. I'm just curious. How... Okay, wait. Let's... Thing. No, okay. I need to book it. A mad dash till the end. Or should I change everything into yellow? That will make more sense. Okay, here's the new plan. I need to change the middle block into yellow. So, okay. Let's put it here on 5. No. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts so much. Okay. I need the right box and that button. Right. Yes, I do need. I need something to press the button, the platform here. But if I change it into yellow, then it would not work. Huh, okay, why didn't I think of that? That won't work. The previous plan won't work. Okay. But okay. So basically I need to go destroy this crumbling platform and then go immediately here. So there's a very short period of time that I am able to do it. Okay. All about, can a box activate the brittle part? I don't think the box is able to go there. So you see there that small I want to say lid of the box there is way above the clearance that that allows it to pass, so it's stuck. Okay. I think it's just skill issues then. I am not that fast. Time to shrink the box. Yeah. Okay. So our plan here is to get the till. Do we need till? You know what? Let's change everything into... I got too preoccupied jumping onto the spring box. I forgot to change colors. But that's okay. This type of puzzle requires you to fail multiple times in order for you to remember. You learn by mistake. Okay. So let's do this then. Want it to be yellow. Yeah, we want it to be yellow, so 1, 4. Okay. Let's do this. 1, 2, 4. Okay, nice. Wait. Oh dang. Oh dang. I choose the wrong thing, aren't I? We need something else besides yellow. Okay, lesson learned. Lesson learned. We need something other than yellow. What about... You know what, since yellow, and then we choose the next best thing, which is green. So we paint this box green. Change it yellow. Yellow, please. Thank you. Oh my god. The lime yellow and the or yellow backdrop is so harsh on the screen. And then to back. Okay. We're back to the previous state. Okay, let's see if how quickly I can make this as close as possible. Okay. So it should be as far as possible, but not far enough that hinders me to moving to the next area. Okay, wish me luck. Nope. Oh shoot. Woo. Okay. Lucky. Lucky. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Now for a new set of problem. God, okay. Sure how to solve this. That. Can't jump. Can I? But the pink is the way. What's the function of this thing? Okay, so that opens that. Problem here is, how do I get up there? The yellow, oh sorry, not yellow, the lime laser. The lime laser does not work. Don't have anything to pop. Can do this, but the pink one is gonna be blocking us. Oh my god. Our character is directly in the side of the laser. Okay, so that's wrong with it. Oof, okay. I I was thinking if I were to be quick enough, I might be able to do it, but apparently I'm not quick enough. I just have to be quick enough, huh? So let's go with purple, yellow, yellow, yellow. Okay. Apparently I'm not quick enough. Can't duck. The red platform there, the red box is uh, a little bit too high, so I can't use that, right? Oh, wait. I think I know. Okay, let's see if my theory is working or not. Red. Okay. Wait, like, oh, God. Okay. You like that the key sparkles? Yeah. It's a very cool game design because this game, the only text that you get is either you interact with the NPCs or the only voice acted part of the game is when you get lore. But other than that, the game doesn't tell you much. Doesn't tell you the basic mechanic. Just have to explore. Okay. Okay. One there. Red. Blue. Yellow. I mean. Then yellow. Ooh, lucky. Okay, what's... Oh, okay. I need to change into what color? Okay, it can't be yellow. Be any other color besides yellow. So I'm gonna change teal, because why not? Wait. Oh, come on. Okay. And oh man, I almost I almost messed that up. Oh god. Okay, and then lime laser needs to be turned off. And then push. Push. Okay, nice. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. Color. Man, I need blue, huh? Okay, I definitely need blue. Icky. Okay, okay. Oh, come on. Oh, I get it. I get it. We simply bring the yellow balloon down. Then we bring down the pink balloon. Yeah. Then turn off the yellow laser. Not yellow, lime. Yeah. Nice. Oh my god, what is this? Hello? Oh my god, this is so... Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, okay, so how to solve this? Have to be a specific color? I don't think so. As long as there's a clock. Oh, I see, I see. Need to make stairs. Do I get it? Oh man, okay, not that close. Oof, okay. Interesting. What if we pull this block here? Okay, do that. And how to do this? We I only have this one block as my plaything? Apparently yes. Well, except, except for the top one. The pink colored one is up there. I can't reach it yet. So the block here is necessary to place here for the moment till I can bring the pink colored one down. But I need to climb this structure, this moving platform, such a way that I'm able to similar to stairs. I do it like this, then the stairs will lead that way, so I cannot climb this platform. Okay. I'm just curious, what would happen if we let the box fall down? I'm just curious. Oh, I get it. Wait, do I get it? Oh man. And how? Okay, definitely something that okay, let's see. Will it work? Oh god, okay, oof. I am confused. How, god, okay, how can I make the box stays here? I will, okay. So we need the platform to be in this configuration. Such way so that we can hop to the highest platform to that base. That's a lot of squishing sound. Okay, let's think about this. What about, oh my god. about this. Can we? Sounds like walking through a swamp. You're not wrong. Very squishy. That's it. How can I make that box please there? But if it were like that, then that would not work. God, okay, trying to, how? Dang, okay, I'm really stuck here. I'm trying to... It. Can I jump? Can't. That's... if I use this box, jump, can reach that. And is it possible to solve this puzzle with only one moving boxes? I don't think I can solve this. Okay, let's think. Not possible, right? Hi. Okay, let's just try. Please tell me this is doable. Come on. Oh god, okay. Oof. Okay, let's... this. But I won't be able to... God dang it. Okay. there any reason for me to let it be stationary? Well, let's try. That's the only combination that we haven't tried. Jump? Okay, we can jump. I jump here. Oh my god, okay. But how? This? Oh. Oh, I need it to be orange. Oh god, no. Come on. Unlimited amount of paint. Well, according to the lore, this university does its study in color theory. But okay, how? Oh, okay. How? Wait. Is it possible? How? Okay, let's do orange. Nope. Too slow. So that means there must be some other way to deal with it. How? I turn things orange, it won't work because the block that I'm supposed to move is invisible. God, okay. It's a real head scratcher, this puzzle. Can I brute force my way? I can't. I really need that box to be orange, otherwise it won't work. Because the blue and the teal and the purple is on one side, meaning that in order for me to climb up that stairs, I need it to be orange. I have an idea, but you don't know how good they are. Any idea is good for me right now, Nero. I'm officially stumped as how to solve this problem. Purple? Okay, so what if we... So the purple part doesn't change this platform if we turn it to purple. Can we stop it? Okay, let's try stopping it. No. Do it like this. Maybe? Oh. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's reset. I'm trying to think here. That should work. What do you mean, Nero? Make it turn into one color? Is it blue? I think maybe you're right, Nero. Maybe I am not understanding this puzzle. I'm an idiot. Oh god. How? Okay, by doing that. Oh, oh, okay, 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 okay. We are are making progress. Okay, wait, wait, wait. Okay, okay, okay. Things should work right now. Oh god. Okay. Okay, okay, nice, nice. Making progress. Oh, we are making progress. Thank you, Nero, for nudging me in the right direction there. Oh my god. I didn't take advantage of the color changing environment. Your Wi-Fi truly hates you. Oh no. It's so much. Oh god. That's okay. I do have to thank you though. You did nudge me to the right direction there. So now let's, I think this part is doable. But how? What's the point of purple? Sorry, not purple, pink. Cardboard. Cardboard boxes. Oh, it's to allow me to climb the dang platform. Okay, okay, I get it now. I get it. Nice. Okay. Hey, nice. Okay, good, good, good. So far, so good. It only took me like what? Almost 20 minutes? Maxwell? Hello there, Sir Maxwell. What is this? But okay, let's solve this. How to solve this? How to solve this? Go up. Turn off the Off. No. Okay. Murder cubes. Yes. These cubes will definitely murder me. Okay. I can't jump. But okay. This a head scratcher. Oh, I bumped my head onto the spikes. Wait, how did I get past it in the first place? Oh, I think I know. I think I know. Okay, let's do this. Not like that. And then orange. Okay, good. Okay. Let's think about this carefully without making any sudden movement. Oh, oh God. I got too impatient there. It, I just need to be careful. Wait, I can just skip. What am I doing? Okay. Now yellow so that we can pass the yellow block. What's okay? Okay, oh, okay. I understand why we need that box specifically. Okay, let's turn back. Okay, so the problem here is now that we have only one of these cubes. And I used the same principle that happens previously. Okay, I can. Apparently. Now we just need to make the pink. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, okay. Uh, yellow, blue, purple. Nice. How did I manage to solve that much quicker than the previous puzzle? Yeah, this type of puzzle is supposed to be gradually becoming more and more harder. Interesting. A door? But where does this door lead? A, a secret? Secrets? Oh no. Okay. Relax. We can do this. So I go down here, there's no guarantee of me getting back up. But oh okay. No, never mind. I can get back up. Um okay, let's try this. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, okay, okay. Let's restart this level. So I basically need. Okay. The neurons are multiplying. Yes. Sometimes it do be like that. Okay, and then push this. You do need this block to be yellow. And then push this to the other side. Let's see if my theory is right or not. Is it right or is it wrong? I'm not even sure. Okay, let's do. Wait. So this one. Oh, I get it. Okay, change of plan. We got a new development that we need to do. Do this. But how am I gonna pull the dang red block to the other side without changing to green? Sorry, Teal or yellow. Okay. The only way for me to jump back up there is by using that red, this block here, to jump this. Can you block the paint with the other block? Okay, let's try then. So not exactly, because I do need to put something here. Wait. Can I jump? No, I can't. So now basically I'm stuck. What's my favorite color? Well, funny you should ask. I did ask this when I first started playing this game, and funny enough, the first color that I got from this game is, I think, is it blue? Oh, this color. Um, the second color. My favorite color here is orange. It's the color of my cat, and also there's a lot of things around my life that revolves around the color orange. So basically, I love the color of orange. When I was a kid, I think I loved the color blue. When I was in high school, middle school, I liked red, and now I like orange. Orange is a nice choice, I know. Not too bright, not too aggressive, like red. I don't know. I used to love the red and black combination when I was in high school, or I I think uh, early in my university day. Until then, I love the color of red and black. Before that, I love the color blue. Funny enough, when I was a kid, I hate the color orange. My mom loves the color orange. I used to hate the color orange because most of my furniture is orange colored. Okay, dang. What about yours, Miro? What is your favorite color? Dang, okay. How to solve this? Let's see. Need something here. And wait. I think I know. Let's just experiment for a bit. Just need to get the block in position. about this. Heal. Okay, good. Okay, progress. Progress. Difficult question. Think with purple or blue. So painting is the most fun with red. Ooh, painting. Is there a reason why you had the most fun using red painting? Because I know when I was doing watercolor painting, red is those colors that um, for example, if you want to make purple, right? There is a red that is more yellowish, and there is red that is more to bluish. So depending on what color you mix with blue, you might not get the exact shade of purple that you want. So I consider red to be quite difficult when you are painting, because most of the time the red that you get with the set of paints is red that is more yellowish, so you won't get a very vibrant purple. It's bright and it works well with as a fun accent for green, brown, or yellow object. Uh, okay, I think you're right. It is complementary to those color that you described. Paint. I never thought of it like that. You paint, Hero Stranger. What kind of medium do you prefer? Oil, acrylic, water, markers? Okay, now I need to solve this dang puzzle. Acrylic or the boring of rich pencil? Ooh. I don't think colored pencil is boring. In fact, I do love colored pencil. Okay. Uh, but one of sorry, I was thinking how to solve this problem puzzle. I was thinking amongst all of the art medium that I can have, I can use, I really dislike using pastel, oil pastel. I don't know why. It's maybe it's because it is very sticky and leave residue on your hand. I'm not very keen on using that. Just I don't know. But I do love colored pencil though. Oh, speaking of colored pencil, right? Um, where I'm from, there's this brand of watercolor pencil. It's really cheap, but amongst all of the colored pencil that I've used throughout my life, those cheap watercolor, it's by Luna's Settler Luna. Those water colored pencil produce the most vibrant one. You can get more vibrant colors from other brand, but those type of colored pencil are much more expensive. But for the price that you get for the Luna watercolor pencil, the performance is really um, unrivaled with other brand in the same price point. I don't know. Okay, where am I? Okay, okay, blue. Okay, I need to be careful here. Okay, so our plan here is blue, yellow, purple. Blue, yellow, purple. No. Come on, man. How is that fair? How is that fair? Oh, okay, you know what? I'm guessing I need to bring this. Oh my god, yes. Oh no. Sometimes you get really lucky with cheap brands. Yes. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you definitely get lucky. Maybe those cheap brands, even though their color are vibrant, I noticed that sometimes they are not very color fast. Those maybe those much more expensive brand, because they have to use a very um, stable pigment in their paint. Maybe that's why they are more expensive. The funny thing is, even though about uh, I learned about this in chemistry, um, color color pigment that you see in your paint or in other sort of media, even wall paint, they are made out of metal complex. And I do know that certain configurations, certain combination of metals, um, they absorb UV light, UV light. Then, if you are lucky, the bonds will break. Sometimes they don't, depending on the configuration. Oh man, I was thinking of inorganic chemistry now, huh? Okay. So what's the plan here? We have orange, purple, blue, orange, purple, blue, orange, okay, let's oof oof oof. Okay. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Orange, orange, nice. Hello, the music. Dang. Really nice music though. Oh, come on, who are you? Oh, I was too focused on the NPC that I didn't realize thing. No! Sudden rise in intensity. I know, the baseline though. Okay. Basically, I need to change color here. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay. 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 I can do this. Let's do. No. Let's. Okay, this one. And then we go down. Okay. Oh god. Oh, I was lucky. I was lucky. Okay. What's the point of me getting up here? There must be a reason. Getting the blue box? Oh, getting the blue box, and then we need to bring it down to cover the hole. Okay, I get it, I get it. But the problem here is how? Okay, okay, okay. Orange, orange, please. Thank you. Supposed to push this. Then pink. Do your job. Oh god, okay, am I stuck here? Okay, no, I'm not stuck. There's always a way. Just need to be careful. Okay. Oh god, no! I I made a mistake. Oops. Okay. Let's try that again. This time we need to be a little bit quicker on our feet. I Okay. Feel all the progress. I know. I feel so sad because of my idiotic brain. Okay, that's okay, that's okay. Just need to retrace our step. Then the purple one can go down. Push the orange block. Oh god! I got too impatient there. That's okay, that's okay. I need to learn all this. Oh, I got too impatient. Now I'm getting impatient. These puzzle games require a lot of patience. Relax. We can do this as long as we are patient. Oops. Okay. Relax. Relax. We can do this. No? Okay. Patience. Okay, orange. Green. Oh wait. I am doing things out of order now. Pink. Green, yes, green, that's correct. Then, okay, pink, blue, orange. Ooh, I'm so lucky that the blue block there block the pink murder cube. Oh my god. Okay. And now I just need to be careful. part I'm a little bit confused. How to do this? Okay, I can't spin. I can't do anything, right? Blue? No. What about yellow? Am I screwed? I think I am screwed. Okay, so mental note, the bottom skull there, the first mother skull there, you can see that I need to let it turn into green. Or is it? I think it's so. So let's just do things the right way this time around. Oh wait, but I can't go up if it's green. God, okay. Okay, that's really unfortunate. Okay. I am okay. Even if we did manage to bring down the blue block to the green skull over here, right? How am I supposed to bring it fully down here? Oh God, okay. Is it timing? the right way, right? Okay, come on. Because of the uh, green green laser there up top there, that's throwing me off. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's think about this carefully then. There must be a solution to this. About we do things as though as normal. What? Okay. Okay, I forgot to do that. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, this is one the few head scratcher puzzle then. Okay. Too late. It will surely work. I hope so. Otherwise, I'm a little bit lost here. Ideas are forming in your brain. Ooh, okay. Okay, let's. The idea requires the bottom right skull to be green though. But bottom right? Oh, okay. You mean that the orange one right now? But that's not possible, right? For example, if I do this. I do that. The moment I try to turn blue so that I can bypass, the laser will pass through. God, okay. Problem here is that I can't go down. That's the only issue that I have right now. Okay, let's send it down again up to the toolbox thing. Then you reckon I should restart the level then? I am quite confused. Maybe I should restart. I'm trying to think here. So bad if it doesn't work. Oh, don't worry. Otherwise, I'm not making any progress. But let me think about this before. Let's. Okay, why does the pink skull on the top left hand corner there go down? There must be a reason, right? Only when it turns green, right? Right, there must be a mechanic there. But I'm not sure what's the mechanic. Oh shoot! My bad. Okay. Okay, now we get to try your idea, Nero. Okay, let's go. I was so deep in thought that I didn't realize it'd be green, right? It's called to be green. Okay, good. Let's go. And green. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay, wait. Oh, I'm such a dum-dum. Okay. Relax, we can do this. Oh shoot! I panic, okay. That's okay. We're learning. calm breathing exercise. Okay, you're right. Take a deep breath. Hold it for 5 seconds. Exhale. Okay, relax, relax. We can do it. Then breathe. Okay, relax. We can. Oh, sorry. To do this first. Okay, and then what? And then what, Nero? The idea requires the bottom right skull to be send it down again up to box beginning. What? Oh, 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 I get it, I get it. Do I get it? I think I get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh god, okay. I have forgotten about the second full box. But, okay, yeah, I'm gonna gamble here. Oh, come on. Okay, okay, I'm supposed to gamble here. Are you kidding me? It doesn't block the laser anymore. Yes. But okay. That's not a good gamble there. Okay, but the timing is gonna be crucial here, I guess. No ideas are needed, yes. But I think we are close. Just need to implement it in a different way. I think we are close. Okay, let's think about this carefully then. Uh, uh, think down. Okay, good, good. So far, so good. Okay, that's but that small gap there, the blue long block there, down there, is not supposed to be there. I'm just curious as to why every time I change from a different color and turn it back to green, this pink skull goes there. There must be a reason. Oh shoot! Oh man. To make the bottom left skull green in the beginning, we can fall through back down, perhaps. Uh, but you mean this skull here, the first skull here? I don't think that's possible because we need it to be purple in order for us to get plus. Yeah, we need to be green zone so that we can disable the green laser. And in order for me to do that, we need it all to be purple. Right? I think that's the reason why. Okay. Oh man, 3 hours, huh? I never noticed that. Okay, then let's think about this carefully. Because red is unused here. Let's overlook as to what we are dealing with. So we have the two skull down there. One is purple, one's orange. One more green skull. I bring the blue. Okay, let's. But I'm not. That's called block leader. Let's try. Let's try. Okay. Okay. It does. Yes, skull does block laser. Okay, okay. A new revelation. Yes, skull does block laser. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I need to take advantage of that. Come on. color. Oh shoot! If the pink skulls fall whenever you clean, can it block the laser just barely long enough past the blue block? I think so. I think so. Maybe I need to try and get to that section without killing myself. That would be great. Okay, so it is possible. Oh shoot! Oh my god. Wait a second. Some disaster there. Okay, okay, back to pink. Okay, okay. We made it through. Okay. Whew. Okay. With okay, that somehow works, and I am afraid of doing anything right now. Oh god. Okay. Dude. Okay. Um. With the combined brain power of our three brain cells, we shall solve the puzzle. Oh god. They are definitely working overtime. Okay, we managed to get down, but how am I... Okay, oh, okay, let's do this then. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. We push this here. Okay. Green. Orange. Oh! Oh my god. I almost killed myself. Yes! My god. I feel like my I feel like my brain is turning into
Dearest
mush.
HUE, it has been too long.
Oh, different voice
You have
actor.
grown so much. Your mother, I tried to warn her. I thought that exiling her from the university would protect her, would protect you. She did not understand that some people choose not to see. I never stole the ring from her, HUE. I tried to destroy it, before it destroyed her. I now know she had it under control. She knew what she was doing. My intervention shattered the ring, altering your mother's very fabric. My only reprieve is that you were able to follow in her footsteps, to experience her work firsthand. We do not see things as they are, HUE. Instead, we see them as we are. Your mother, she has been waiting for you. I expect she will be thrilled to see how far you've come.
Interesting. So, the professor is our father. That's a big revelation. Because so far, the only lore we got is from our mother. And I assume that the hooded figure is our mother. Let's see if that's the right thing or not. Oh man, HUE, I feel sorry for you. Were you neglected as a child? Okay, so have that pathway. Okay, so that is definitely the right way. I did it! Yeah, I did it! I almost not made it because of my careless mistake. So this is several. Maxwell. Is Maxwell our father? Maybe I should pay more attention to the stuff. But hello? Mother? Mother? It's our dad. It's not our mother. Turn it into smoke cloud. God, okay. Hello? Well, Lovely, look who it is. It's wonderful to see you both again. I never doubted you'd find each other. You both look exhausted. Let me fire up the old vessel. I'll get you back to the village in no time. I hate it when my parent vaporize. Would you hate it? Lose weight in this easy step. Doctors hate them. Wait, is that it?
P.S. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can choose how you see it. Now you can see true colour. You must decide if it is for better or worse. I hope after all this, it is for the better.
Okay, wait. Okay, first of all, I don't understand the story for a bit because throughout the game, when you get the letter, right, you get this brief, brief voice acted scene where your mother talks to you, and the mother talks in a way that she is trapped in limbo, in a way that she cannot interact with other people because of the ring. Oh God, I don't understand the story. How can this game be such um have a in-depth lore into it? Okay, so those are our parents. That's our mother. That's our father. Our father vaporized. Okay, I did, I did complete the game with flying colors. But yeah, I am a little bit confused as to what what's the story there. Dr. Gray, mother Anna Acton, Dr. Gray. Those two are the only voice actor, huh? Overall, I feel like this game is really great. In fact, the puzzle is really brain challenging. It does involve. Oh God, is the music loud? It is loud. Oh God. Let, let, okay, I lower for you guys, but it's really loud in my ear. God, okay, let's. Okay. Um, but yeah, I'm a little bit confused because early in the game, mother said that she's the one that cannot interact with the game world, similar to how a 2D plane character suddenly found a 3D plane. Oh God, I'm a little bit confused. Oh, it's a 2016 game. Wow, almost 10 years. The puzzles were great. Yes. Interesting. So that's it. Okay, so why is the father why is the father the one that being vaporized? I would based on from what I know, if I didn't know the final scene there where the father revealed itself to be the hooded figure, I would assume it was the mother because the mother would leave behind descriptive messages saying that he cannot interact with the child, our character. But it turns out the mother is just stuck in the university and no one is there to get her? What kind of university are you going, mother? Anyway, that's a really enjoyable experience overall. The story is a little bit needs a little bit digesting for me to comprehend the complexity of the story. But the puzzles are great. And so far I'm playing this game like what, 9 hours? Is it less than 9 hours? I think yeah, definitely 9 hours. 8.9 hours. So overall it took me 3 streams, so approximately 3 hours. 3 times 3 is 9, so 9 hours worth of game. Bear in mind, I did get this game for free on Steam, like during the last 10th of June. I did get it for free that time. Sounds like the average university experience. Well, I'm not sure what kind of university you went through, Nero, but um, where I'm from, if you stay too long in the university, someone would definitely kick you out. Otherwise, I don't know. How did she eat? Dang. Just he just said, oh god, I almost said the wrong thing. She just stayed in front of her typewriter, brooding. She just wait for her child to come and fetch her. And bear in mind, as he did have the opportunity to use the ring, right? Or is it because Dr. Gray, our father, destroyed the ring? Maybe that's why she got stuck there. I don't know. They look way more challenging than Manifold Garden. Ooh, we need to get a new puzzle game soon. Always get stuck there and turn paper. I guess so. If only that were the case, huh? You spend too much in your research, spend a little bit too much time in your research, and you basically vaporize. Maybe that's why people in my university didn't want me to stay in the faculty for too long. Otherwise, I'll get vaporized. They have to clean up after me. Okay, overall, I would give this game. I don't know. I don't like to rate games. I I I don't want to be objective about it because different games have different strengths and weaknesses. So it's unfair for me to rate the game on a scale of 1 to 10. It's really unfair because I've never experienced a game where it allows you to um, first and foremost, the blend of colors is really good. The music is really good. The puzzle is challenging, but not so much that it is impossible to do. It's just that you need a little bit more time to digest. I remember at the start of the stream, I said that, oh, it's not gonna take a little bit, not gonna take a lot of time. If we finish early, we can play some Kingdom 80s demo. Turns out I lied. I got stuck in this game for 3 hours. Okay, here's the plan. Next week on Sunday, I am gonna play more, not more. I'm gonna try Kingdom 80s demo because the game is gonna be released tomorrow, or I think it is tomorrow. It is it's gonna be released on the 26th. But I didn't even finish Kingdom New Land. Is it Kingdom New Land? No, Kingdom Two Crowns. I didn't even finish that game. So here's the plan. I am gonna try the demo first, and if we finish that game, we are gonna go back into Kingdom Two Crowns and try and finish that game. I've been delaying that game for quite a bit because I got too frustrated with it. On Saturday, gosh, what am I gonna finish? Yeah, I'm gonna finish Cult of the Lamb. I cannot speak. Cult of the Lamb, and we'll try and finish it. And if we did manage to finish the game, then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do afterwards. But we'll see how it goes. But for now, I want to say thank you so much to Nero, for helping me with the puzzle. It really does help me. You definitely nudge me in the right direction. Otherwise, I would get stuck in this for like another hour. Also, I want to say thank you to Vigor for 50 for dropping by the stream, and what? And also to Tommy 2000 for dropping by the stream. I really do appreciate it. And oh god, the one thing that I am really happy about is the Discord notification on my Discord server really works. Oh god, that really makes me happy because I've been trying to get it to work for quite a bit. I'm so glad that it works right now. But anyway, um, I hope that nothing breaks in the Discord. But other than that, if you are watching this on YouTube, I just upload most of the stream archive on YouTube. After a certain delay, I think for 1 month I've been delaying that because I've been too busy with other stuff. Uh, Finally, your singular. I would argue that your singular brain cell is much more powerful than my two brain cell. But anyway, yeah, I really do appreciate your help, Nero. Uh, yeah, I think that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll hope to see you guys in the next stream. I'll see you later. Bye.